Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. That's my email. It's still in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly for pricing. I am T. Mosso at thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing a 2023 limited edition of 178 pieces from Louis Erard. This is the Konstantin Chaykin Dusk Till Dawn. Based on the previous Time Eater, you can see the watch continues to channel the spirit of the Slavic Likho folklore monster or devil, which in many regards is a monocular creature, similar in temperament and threat to Baba Yaga. But while this is Likho inspired, I get the impression that Dusk Till Dawn actually suggests the 1996 Robert Rodriguez movie featuring George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. And of that, I can say the best description I ever heard was a combination of natural-born killers and Evil Dead. With that background, I think you understand the spirit of this watch. 39 millimeters in diameter in steel. It is blackened, and it is 13.3 millimeters thick. From lug tip to lug tip, 45.7 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We will throw the Likho / vampire inspired Time Eater Dusk Till Dawn on my wrist. And you can see it's actually pretty easy to wear. For something so intimidating in appearance, it is quite gentle and treads lightly on a small wrist. You can see down the barrel, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. So over the top, which even exaggerates the width of a watch, you can see the lugs are still nowhere near the edge of my wrist. And being 13.3 millimeters with a domed bezel, it actually fits underneath the cuff pretty well. Take a quick look at the sapphire. You can see there's very little glare because this is a double AR sapphire coated on both sides and dramatically domed and cambered. I've never seen a strap like this, and you might be a little loath to touch it, realizing that it is made of toad leather on the top and rabbit leather on the bottom. While adults generally regard both of those as vermin of some stripe, kids might also regard them as most favored cartoon characters, so this watch would be thoroughly frightening to children. Taking a quick look at how it's put together, you can see there's a contrasting binding stitch. It's glossy on the toad black top. It's actually quite thick. I guess it takes quite a lot of toad in order to secure an expensive watch on the wrist. So you can see it's been shear cut and then painted on the side to close up the leather. It's red on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging. This is a brand new Louis Erard strap. We have a Louis Erard branded blackened pin buckle to match. The contrasting binding is really nice, and if you're wondering what the rabbit leather is like, it looks and feels like calfskin, only softer. You can also see that pull-tab spring bars have been used so you can pop the strap off the case without resorting to tools, and even the strap minders have been made out of toad leather. Very cool. Everything is matte finished. That starts with the buckle and it continues on the case. You can see everything is matte, very muted, a sort of media blast texture, completely blackened. The lugs are nicely broken out from the case band, giving the case a little bit of a vintage look. We've got the Louis Erard, I guess, caliper style design on the crown. And then we have a dial that is inspired by Konstantin Chaykin's Wristmon series. So while the Likho of Slavic mythology is the go-to monster right here, the original was actually based on the face of the Joker, the much-loved / reviled Batman villain. Here, we have a single eye and a regulator-style dial. Rather than two googly eyes, we have one. The eye indicates the current hour. The hand, which appears to be indicating that you are number one in Konstantin Chaykin's book, it will act as your minute hand, and then we have running seconds down at the bottom. So it is a regulator-style dial. Regulator is something that Louis Erard does well. And then we have this spectacular radial pattern with deep set texture. And you can see there's a real contrast in the black tones, light and dark. So while it's all black, there is contrast here. Just to clarify, because I know some people are going to wonder, does it have lume? It does not have lume. And then it is a very entertaining thing to play with. You can also see that when the crown is withdrawn, the running seconds will actually come to a halt. I'm not sure there's a practical use for that hacking second since there are no reference points on the star itself. Now turning everything over, not a whole lot to see. We have a red smoked sapphire over a movement that is a Sellita SW266. So it's Sellita's version of an ETA 2824 and automatic winding bidirectional with a 38-hour power reserve, a 4 hertz beat rate. Of course, it does have the stop seconds function, though to what end, I know not. And it has a regulator complication built on top. Now, there are 178 of these. There are actually 2 different versions of the watch, each made in 178 pieces. And then there will be 28 diptych sets, so 28 matched sets of 2 taken from the 178 pieces of the 2 individual versions. So if you're into independent watchmaking, cool. Russian watchmaker Konstantin Chaykin is an absolute rock star, and by revisiting his Wristmon series with the Louis Erard regulator, he's created something truly special that doesn't cost a lot of money, but has independent horology cool behind it and a look that is super unique, unlike anything else you'll find. Let's face it, FP Journe is never going to make a watch like this. If you love it, reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details, and be advised it is 50 meters, I repeat, 50 meters water resistant.